What is up, everybody? This should be going live on YouTube right now, on TikTok, everything on X. Make sure you're subbing to my YouTube. If you haven't already, we're going to be going over 49ers possible draft picks, specifically 49ers related today, after the Raheem Morris hire, because it changes things. If they actually allow Raheem Morris to run his 3-4 system, which they should, or at least a variation of it, you don't have to completely go away from the wide nine, but at least let him scheme up the defense how he wants to scheme the defense. I think that they can really be successful next year as a defense. If they don't let Raheem Morris do what he wants, and I know Grant Cohn talked about this the other day, they're going to fail. It'll be another type of Steve Wilkes situation where they didn't let him run his defense. I do think they've learned from their mistakes and they will let him run his 3-4 system. And it changes the philosophy going into the draft because Raheem Morris needs good secondary players. And yes, the Niners have good secondary players, but they don't have a cover safety. We know that Mustafa can hit hard. He gets to the ball quick. He can tackle well. He can sack the quarterback every once in a while, but he's terrible in coverage. And that leads me to believe there's a few guys, a few safeties that Raheem Morris would specifically want for his system early on in the process, early on in the draft. And I know it's Super Bowl week. Yep. You know where I'm going with this. I know it's Super Bowl week. And honestly, I can't stand this Super Bowl. I don't want to watch it. I'm going to watch it for Bad Bunny's halftime performance. But I don't want to watch the game. I mean, it pains me too much. I hate both teams. Watching the Seahawks win a Super Bowl in our home stadium kind of hurts me a little bit, but maybe it'll make the Niners more vigilant and more, I would say, desperate to make a big move. Obviously, you guys have probably seen the Max Crosby news that came out today that he might want out of Oakland. Well, it's not Oakland anymore, Vegas. I don't know why I said Oakland. I'm so used to calling it the Oakland Raiders that I just completely forgot they moved to Vegas 4 years ago. They'll always be the Oakland Raiders to me. But he probably wants to move on from the Raiders. Do you trade your first round pick for a Max Crosby to make Raheem's job easier? Because if you get a Max Crosby alongside Nick Bosa, alongside Michael once he's back, Keon White, that's the best pass rushing unit in the league. I mean, it solves everything. And yes, you have to give up picks. And we know that the 49ers have been reluctant to do that in the last few seasons. But I think that's the type of player where you can, and it won't hurt you as much. So we're going to go into that, and I'm going to share my screen. So you guys can see what I'm thinking about here. And let me just make sure that it is the correct. Let me put myself, no, let's switch that. And again, if you're watching this on TikTok, this will be up on YouTube after. It's live right now on TikTok, YouTube, and X. Make sure you're subbing to my YouTube and make sure you're following me on TikTok. I do appreciate it tremendously. I know you guys are probably like, oh, you don't have to say that all the time. I have to because I would really love the support if you're not already. I love all you guys, and I'm trying to bring you great content every single day. So that's why I bring it up so much. Let me customize this and make myself a little smaller here so you guys can really see this. So we're going to go here and let's enter. Let's go slow on the board here and kind of see who goes off the board. Obviously, Mendoza, well, reset number one. Come on, that's not happening. But you see Jeremiah Love, Tyson, Bailey, and I'll pause it a few picks before. I don't see a scenario where they trade up. I know there's been some talk about them trading up. I just don't see that. I don't think they will want to trade up. Let's pause it right here. All right, so as you can see, Denzel Boston's already off the board, a definite guy that's been linked to the 49ers in the past, right? With the Raheem Morris hire, I don't think they go receiver in round one. I just don't. I don't at all. At all. I think it's maybe round two. You could get an Omar Cooper, Elijah Surratt, Chris Bell, maybe because of his ACL is torn. Kyle doesn't play these rookie wide receivers anyways. So again, that would be great if they could get a receiver in round two. I think with the Raheem Morris hire, this is absolutely going to be a defensive pick in the first round, whether it's edge rusher or safety or corner. I didn't previously think that safety or corner would be considered, but with what Raheem needs, I can absolutely see the safety from Toledo going to us at 27 because he'll be there. He's not going to get picked before 27, and he's a perfect safety alongside Malik Mustafa. And I think Raheem really needs a ball hawk in the secondary because look at what he did with the Falcons last year. I know Ulbrich was calling part of the defense, but it's Raheem's scheme that they were running. Ulbrich and him called it together, right? It wasn't completely Ulbrich making all of the decisions there. The guy who came over from the Jets, obviously his son prank called Shador Sanders. He got in trouble for that. That was a whole debacle there. But Xavier Watts, ton of interceptions. Bowman, ton of interceptions as rookies. I definitely think the safety is in play. But you see Boston goes off the board in this specific mock here. I mean, what is this, pick 18 to, I mean, that's not happening unless Minnesota trades Addison or Jefferson. I don't think they would take a tackle. Makai, as you can see, would be the perfect fit for the 49ers. He'd be the only wide receiver I would trade multiple picks to move up for. I think he's a perfect fit in Kyle's system. Lock it in superstar, fits the Amon-Ra JSN type of build. If you guys have been following this page, if you guys have been subbed to this page for a while, my thoughts on Makai Lemon. I think he should be a top 5 pick. I think he's a top 5 player from this draft. In fact, I think he probably becomes the best player from this draft overall out of anybody. I truly believe that. He can just do so much. He doesn't have any weaknesses in his game. He's a little bit small. He's not as fast as other guys, but his yards after the catch would fit Kyle's system perfectly. He can separate and he doesn't drop passes. So again, you see all of the PFF stuff, 91.4 receiving grade, 66.7% contested catch grade, 3.13 yards per route runs fucking ridiculous. Excuse my language. This is a guy that I would be fine giving up a second round pick and the 27th pick to move up to like 14. Obviously, the Rams wouldn't trade with us. He went 13 in this mock, but definitely the receiver that I'm fine trading up for. And you see how this kind of played out. Obviously, there's things that are going to change over the next few months. The combine will change some things. I'm sure Concepcion will rise and Zachariah Branch because they'll run super fast 40 times. Fano goes a few picks before. Obviously, that would be a perfect fit. Peter Woods obviously would not be going to the 49ers. This isn't going to happen, by the way. Cassius Howell goes 12th in this. He's not going to be in the first round probably unless it's the end because he's so tiny. He's 6'1" or 6'2", and he's kind of slim. So he was really just a pass rusher. He's excellent at that, but that's not typically what we see from first round picks. So they have him going 12 there. That's just not going to happen. So let's resume the draft a little bit. In this scenario, we're not trading up. Falk goes, Banks goes, Parker goes, Ione goes, or Ione, Lomu, Concepcion. So in this scenario, we do have a guy that 49ers fans have linked, have been linking the team to in the past, and that's Kenyon Sadiq. I know a lot of people want him. He's definitely a capable blocker, even though the PFF grades don't really reflect that. The drop rate of 10.5% isn't good, but this is a guy who's so twitchy and so good at getting open and getting space that I think he would fit. But I just don't think that the allocated resources should be focused on tight end. Kittle should be back at least by a few games in. Now, I know he's old, and I know that this is a guy that people will like and throughout the process. And I'm not completely against taking Sadiq there. But the issue I have is just I just think we have too many needs and too much depth to go and draft a tight end. And I know Maj can speak on this, and I'm going to have Maj come on here too. What's up, Maj?
Yo, what's up, Brandon?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
I can hear you. So I know this is your boy here. You come on with perfect timing here because this is the board as it plays out right now in this mock draft at pick 27. You see McDonald, Sadiq, Miller. We've talked about this guy, and we'll get into him in a second, but this guy is the best coverage grade in the class. But I wanted to talk about Sadiq because you really love Kenyon Sadiq to the 49ers, right? This is a guy that you've thought about for a long time. I saw your ex post about it, but yeah.
I was leaning more towards Kenyon, but now with Raheem coming, like Raheem in the mold now, I don't think there's any way we draft an offensive player in round 1.
I agree.
Like,
I agree
don't
100%.
I'd be shocked. And also, I don't think Kenyon's gonna fall. I don't know why. I feel like he's like not gonna fall this far. I feel like the Eagles are a team that's gonna take a jump on him because Dallas Goedert and all that. But like, if he's there, would be awesome. Do I think Kenyon's gonna be there? Maybe if he's there, I don't. You just scrolled by the player that I think we're gonna take, and I made a TikTok about him.
Yep.
And dude,
and I thought, by the way, check out Maj's TikTok if you guys haven't already, and YouTube. Make sure you sub not only to me and follow me on TikTok, but sub to his YouTube.
That's that. If you want to click out, that's the guy I think that right now that we're gonna go for is Emmanuel McNeil Warren. And like, dude, he's like 6'2", 204 pounds. He's a ball hawk. He can hit really hard. He reads plays really well. He can like stop the run. I like against the run, I thought he was better. That's what I heard against the run. He's better against coverage. He's like sometimes doesn't know what to do, but like, dude, he's so good.
I think it's the opposite actually.
You think that
But I think
I
he's like an elite coverage guy, but he fits Mustafa perfect because his coverage grade on PFF's 92. Now, again, he's playing at Toledo. It's not like he's playing like legitimate college
That's the
football
biggest thing.
players.
And when I saw people talking about it, like I thought like I made a YouTube video. I'm about to post it probably like today or tomorrow. And I was even saying like people say his coverage like isn't good, but I'm watching these freaking highlights, watching tape on him. The guy is like, dude, he can jump up really high. Like he's so that's just the biggest thing is he went to Toledo. He doesn't play against elite competition. Like, look at the games he played on the right: Kentucky, Western Kentucky,
I mean,
Bowling
those were his two
Green,
best games. I mean, he had a 58.8
and
PFF
those are
grade
and those are
against
the two
Bowling
best
Green.
teams. Those are the two best teams probably that he's played is
Yeah,
Kentucky and Western
yeah.
Kentucky.
And I'm not
So
trying to hate. I still love him as a prospect. I trust Raheem in this sense. I know Raheem is going to fall in love with this guy, and I know he's going to be there at 27. And with the hire of Raheem Morris, I would be shocked if they don't take Emmanuel McNeil Warren with that pick. And I
it's just
never
that
thought they would be considering safety. I didn't. I thought it would be either
no,
receiver or edge rusher. But the way that Raheem wants to play with his ball hawk safeties and his defensive scheme, if they let him play that, McNeil Warren's a perfect fit alongside Malik Mustafa. Because before you got on, I said Malik Mustafa is horrible in coverage, but excellent against the run, excellent at getting to the ball. I mean, getting to, and tackling players in space, sacking the
yeah,
quarterback, hard hitter. He plays a lot like Hufanga. And remember, Hufanga wasn't ever incredible in coverage. Now, he was better than Mustafa, but he had a
yes,
ton of coverage, like fuck ups when he was with the 49ers. He was a
yep,
hard hitter, a guy that was getting to the ball, obviously an all pro. So if Mustafa ever becomes Talanoa Hufanga, that's a W in of itself.
yeah,
I'm not saying that Hufanga was horrible in coverage, but he struggled a bit. And that was an issue. They needed guys that could really be coverage safeties. Now, the problem here is if you take a safety with this pick, I think you can get a player that's, I wouldn't say as good, but definitely close in coverage in the third, fourth, or fifth round. And that's Bishop Fitzgerald, which we'll get into in a second. And that in positional need does play a difference. I think you got to go best player available here. And another guy I'm looking at now, I think that would be the pick. I like Akeem Mesidor a lot. I don't give a fuck that he's 25. He can
I
play
don't
football.
care. It
I
doesn't
don't
matter.
care, dude. And think about this. People are
But
like,
that
oh,
might
he's
be
going to
better.
be,
Brandon, that
yeah.
might be better that he's older, so then he's not so young and Kyle doesn't play him. Maybe if Kyle gets this guy's like, hey, he's 25, he knows what he's doing. Okay, maybe I'll actually play him. This guy's played
And
against
he's
elite
big.
competition. Dude,
And
and
he's
his
big.
pass rush, he's got a bag of moves, dude. This guy's he's so good.
Yeah.
If he falls to us, I'm like, well, he's not like I'm not gonna say he's falling to us because it's kind of like that's where he's projected to go. Dude,
Yeah.
this guy's a dog. He's a dog.
I agree. And I think, you obviously this is a 25-year-old playing against 21 and 22-year-olds pretty much
Yeah,
in college. So you take a grain of salt with the dominance, right? The 92.5 pass rush grade, true pass rush grade of 94.2, pass rush win rate of 21% is fucking godly. What I'm looking at is the run defense grade too, because to play for the 49ers with their intention, I don't think the hiring of Raheem Morris is going to signify a difference of the importance of stopping the run. Like, I think that's going to be a consistent theme. Remember when the 49ers in their D'Amico Ryans defenses and their Robert Saleh defenses, they played the wide nine, but it was contingent upon stopping the run. They were always a top run defense. I think that's what happens when the 49ers are great. Obviously, Raheem Morris is going to get them better at rushing the passer, but I think Mesidor is one of those guys because he's 6'3", 280, that he can play inside as well a little bit. He doesn't have to be primarily an edge rusher. Like he can play early downs as well. I don't know. I would like that pick. And again, about the age thing, you're getting basic. You don't have to pay for a second contract. He's gonna be 29 when he gets his second contract, so he'll be less valuable probably, right? So
yeah.
like that's another thing. Whereas a guy like you take him, he's 21, sure, like Michael, he's 21. He's gonna be 25 when he hits the market. You know what I mean? If they don't get an extension with him. So I think we have to take that into consideration. I like Mesidor. I still would prefer
I
an
did too.
edge rusher there. But if Raheem really has a guy, I care less about taking a risk on an edge. I would rather get the guy Raheem wants to implement because I know he has a plan and I trust that plan, right? So I'm not against Emmanuel McNeil Warren there. There's another guy here, and this is just specifically round one. This guy's been mocked to us a lot. He's
Isn't this guy?
huge.
Isn't he like? I heard he was like not injured or something, but I heard about maybe it's a different guy, but I heard like he's not that good. This guy, Monroe Freeling.
He has upside. And I think the benefit of taking a tackle here would be they can learn behind Trent Williams and start
Trent,
at guard. Now,
which would be smart.
a perfect guy here would be Jennings Dunker is another guy I'd consider here. Where is he? He's not going to be this low, dude. Is he already gone off the list?
He
Did I
might
miss
be.
him? Did he already get picked? There's no way. No. Hold on. What do they list him as? Dude, he is not going that low. This guy's going to be a first round pick, bro. This guy's going to be a first round pick. They have
First or early
ADP of
second.
like,
This is the
yeah.
mullet guy, right?
Oh yeah, dude, he's so good, and he can be an all-pro guard right away. I think similar to what Pooney was when he entered the league, and then eventually he can slide over. I think he's strong enough where he can play left tackle. Um, personally, like we said earlier, personally, I would prefer a tackle here over anything, over receiver, over anything. Receiver's a wash. I would rather have him not go receiver because Kyle's not going to play the motherfucker
Denzel
anyway.
Boston.
So well, he's not going to play him. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
I know,
matter.
but Denzel Boston, dude. This guy's like 6'4". He's fast. He freaking can return
Yeah, but
punch. Dude.
all to ride the pine. I mean, the last guy he played was
Long
Ayuk,
part,
I
bro.
guess, first round receiver. I mean, he wanted to play Ricky his rookie year. I don't think he's opposed to rookie wide receivers. It's just
You know what we do?
Jordan Watkins was never good, even in college. They drafted him in
No.
round 4. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. You know what we do? We just tell Kyle that this is Juwan Jennings just reincarnated, and maybe he'll be like, "Oh my God, okay, let's
I
draft
think
him."
you got to tell Brock Purdy that since Brock Purdy has tunnel vision when it comes to Juwan Jennings,
Yeah.
it feels like, and it really fucking pisses me off. I'm so glad that Juwan Jennings is going to be playing on another football team next year. But that's a separate conversation. I just for
Yeah.
Brock, finally he can get it to fast receivers instead of throwing it to I get third and
We have to get
Juwan, great,
fast.
but like,
That's
yeah.
the biggest thing this offseason is we have to get fast. We're so
Well,
painfully slow.
that's all. Look, what do you mean by getting fast? Because they got Danny Gray, remember a few years ago, and they got faster.
I don't know.
These guys were fucking horrible. You know what I
Get
mean?
good pass
Danny
guys.
Gray was literally he's facing, I believe, criminal charges, right? Because he was with the Rashee Rice incident
He
in
was?
no, not well, Rashee Rice hit his girlfriend, so he's in trouble with that as well. But I'm saying the hit and run, he was the other guy driving with Rashee Rice where they were racing on the freeway and they got into, he was in
How
that.
does Danny Gray even have money? This guy
Well,
sucks.
he,
He's
he
so
went
bad.
to SMU and Rashee Rice went to SMU, so that's how they
Okay.
know each other. So it was
Yeah.
in
No, I'm
Dallas,
just
I
saying, like,
believe
how the
that
hell
was.
how is he even keeping up with Rashee Rice on the road? He doesn't have no money. He got cut off the Niners, went to the Eagles, is he even on a team anymore?
No, he sucks, but that was a bad pick. And that's what scares me about like drafting on speed. Like, dude, fuck
He's
that.
only 26 too.
I want football players, bro. Like, I don't give a
Mm.
shit about any of this BS. Like, you don't need speed. You need separators. There's a difference. There's a difference. You don't need Xavier Worthy. He can't run a route. You know what I mean? You need to get a
Yeah.
guy who can run a route and
Here's a
separate.
guy.
Like
Here's a
Ayuk
guy.
was what? A 4.5 guy is 40
Yeah.
time. I
Denzel
believe you
Boston,
can
I
look
think,
that up.
or
I think he was like 4.5. And he was just always a really good route runner and separator. That's what the 49ers need. They need an Ayuk type of receiver. I mean, they have
Ayuk was 4.5. Yeah.
4.5, right? Okay. Yeah. So I figured that was the problem with getting these 4.3 guys like Danny Gray or 4.4 that are strictly speed. And Jordan Watkins, I think, was 4.43. He can't fucking play football. Like that's the problem. It's just like Mesidor. He's 25. Who gives a shit? He can play football. Yeah, I'd rather take him over a 21-year-old who doesn't have enough pass rush moves to play at the NFL level yet. You know what I mean? And that's why I like Jennings Dunker. Like they rank him 83rd ADP. Oh, because he can't play tackle. He's short arms. He's probably a guard. Cool. Slot him in there. Protect Purdy. I think protecting Purdy is going to be instrumental in his development as a player and taking another leap because we've seen flashes of Brock taking the leap. Like he looked like the best he's ever looked in that 5-game stretch against,
Yeah.
Indy, Chicago, and he was playing through a toe injury. So
If he Dude, if we
Yeah,
pay Purdy that much money, you gotta protect the guy. Like,
you got to protect him because he
that's
can't
why
be
we
running around. And it look,
we
look, you can win games against these shitty teams with the mid O line, but you saw what happened to Seattle. Purdy didn't even play bad against Seattle. He just never got a chance. You know what
where's
I
that
mean?
yes, where's that Penn State guy, right?
He already
Ocha.
went. So that's another guy I like.
He already went?
Vega Ione. I mean, he would be perfect. I'd be cool drafting a guard there in round 1. You know what I mean?
Dude, there's a lot of positions that I won't even be mad about.
I would prefer we draft Caleb
Caleb
Lomu
Lomu.
over these other OTs.
I've seen you
Sure,
got
but he's already gone in this scenario, and I do expect him on draft day to be gone as well. I think he went. Where did he go? Right there. Yeah, I mean he's
what
pretty
team picked
good.
him?
Browns. They're too dumb to actually pick him in real life. So it's a separate cover. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to put that energy. I'm trying to be a nicer person. I'm trying to not call these guys bums
Brennan, you are very
anymore.
nice. You're a nice
I
guy.
am, but you know, Danny Gray. It's really it pains me. He is a bum. He's a
Oh,
bum.
he sucks.
And I want to be nice. I don't want to call him a bum, but like
No, I'm gonna call Danny Gray. You're a
he's
bum.
better at
Like, he
football than
sucks.
me. He's better at football than me, but when we compare him to other players, he's a horrible football player. And
Oh,
that's
he's
why I get mad when people are like, "Hey, let's get faster." Oh, well then I automatically have PTSD about Danny Gray and the fucker they picked from Nebraska in round 7 last year. He didn't even get a fucking snap. Bergen? Wasn't it Bergen? Or
yeah.
was it the other guy? Yeah, I mean, like he was supposed to be a punt returner. He was, oh, fast guy. Oh, okay. Well, he didn't fucking play. You know, maybe that's on Kyle. Maybe he is good, just like maybe
Yeah.
Watkins is good. We don't really know. I still like Pearsall, but I don't know. I wouldn't take a guy there that in round 1
Who took
that
Denzel Boston? The Steelers? 'Cause, like, it's cut off.
this would never happen. It would be Minnesota here. But you're right. Denzel Boston's a guy I love, dude. I would love the 49ers to take
Dude,
him.
he's
You know
so
my
good.
thoughts on him.
Yeah.
87 receiving grade. I mean, his man coverage grade. That's what they need the most. They need a guy who can beat man coverage. He has a 90 man coverage grade and 77% contested catch rates. Ridiculous, by the way.
Dude,
So, I
toss that
mean,
shit up. He's a red zone threat. Threat.
yeah, yeah, I like him. I like him a lot. We need to draft Brennan Thompson, Caden. Yeah, they're speed and can run routes unlike Danny Gray. Brennan
So bring up
Thompson's
Danny
good.
Gray. Oh my god. You know, every time Danny Gray gets brought up, I always think about who's that tight end that we drafted?
Yeah, the guy who fucking sucks, Latu.
Yes, that guy
In round
was
3, a John Lynch special. Never fucking played, by the way.
dude, that guy was so ass. Preseason, I was like, dude, what? He was
Dude,
slow.
he was so bad that when the Niners drafted him, if you look at like best remaining players, he didn't even have a grade. He wasn't even supposed to be drafted, and they took him in round 3. That was the same year they took Moody, by the way. I think they had 2 or 3 third-round picks. I
You
believe
already
that
knew
was
that
the same
draft was
year.
going to be a mess up when they took Jake Moody in round 3. I don't give a shit if Jake Moody was the best kicker ever. You'd never take a kicker in the 3rd round of a draft.
Well, I think
I
it
don't
worked
give a
out for
shit
New
who it is.
England this past year, but I think they took Boraglis or what is his name? Boragalis?
The guy from Miami?
Yeah, yeah, they took him in around 5 though, I think. I don't think he was a 3rd round pick. Here's a good question. How much would you give up for McKillum and Max? I would give up the
Dude.
27. It depends. So like if it's to get in the top
That
10, you're
guy's
gonna have
Amon Ross St. Brown Jr. I would give up
I agree. I mean, I would give
anything.
up I I would give up another first to move up for him. I would. I know people probably are against that. They're like, why would you, especially since next year, like if the Niners are bad, it's a super draft in 27, right? You don't want to give up assets. Cool. Well, you know, trade him a 2028 first rounder and pick 27. But if you need to get in the top 10, if he falls to about 12 or 13, I think you only have to give up like 2 seconds. Like
Yeah.
basically, or no, 1 second in your 27th pick, because that's you know, I feel like you can make something work. Maybe if they included Mac Jones in one of these teams, like you know,
Yeah.
if he falls to, let's see, he fell to 13 here. Obviously, the Rams would never deal with the 49ers, but the Jets, right at 16, they need a quarterback. They're obviously not taking one at 2. All like if Lemon's there, and I'd be like, look, we'll give you Mac Jones and the 27th overall pick. And hey,
Dude, Mac Jones, get rid of Mac Jones this year, dude. I don't like put him in a freaking trade package, get freaking rid of him.
we need to get the reason why, and I disagree with Grant here. Grant's like, you need to keep Mac Jones because Purdy's always fucking hurt. I'm like, that's why they drafted Curtis Rourke, dude.
Thank
Curtis
you.
Rourke,
That's
like, they don't need Mac Jones. They have a serious problem, the San Francisco 49ers, with depth. We need
if
more
they
depth.
keep If they keep Mac Jones, that's a bad sign that they don't believe in Brock Purdy and they don't think he can stay healthy whatsoever, and they think Curtis Rourke is ass.
I don't think there's any doubt. I'll stand on it right now. I 100% will guarantee you they trade Mac Jones.
I
They
think
are
so.
not they have made bad decisions. They are not incompetent though. They are not an incompetent organization. They see the value, especially that of Sam Darnold, especially if Sam Darnold wins a ring, then Mac Jones can go for a second and a third or some shit. Like it's not just a third round pick or a second round pick. Like
Yeah.
teams are going to start to fall in love with paying the quarterback $30 million. You extend Mac Jones. Well, he has one more year, right? So you don't need to extend Mac Jones yet.
Mac Jones is going to be Sam Darnold 2.0. Whatever team he goes
100%,
to, he's
100%.
going to
And
succeed.
I think he should be more valuable than Malik Willis. Would you rather trade for Mac Jones and give up a second or third round pick for him, right? Or both for a guy that's making 8 million next year or 10 million? Or would you rather pay Malik Willis $30 million a year? Because Malik Willis is going to get $30 million a year. I'm telling you right now. Some dumbass team
Malik
is going to
Willis
give him
does.
$30 million a year.
Malik Willis has shown signs though. Like I
He's
actually
good,
don't
but I'm
mind
just
him.
saying, who would you rather have? What's more fiscally responsible? I
Mac
think it
Jones,
would be trading a pick for Mac Jones, and then if he
100%.
plays very well, you can extend him in the offseason to a Sam Darnold type of contract, right? So
I agree.
like I think I know this is a little off topic from the draft specifically and Raheem Morris's stuff. I think they are 100% trading Mac Jones, and you have to because we don't have much depth. Like you look at corner, we have three good corners. Like I still believe in Renardo Green. I think with a pass rush, he'll look very good. We have one good safety, Siegel. You know, jury's out on him. I don't know if he's any good. I like Mustafa. I think he's good. I know a lot of Niners fans don't like him. He
Siegel
just
will be a
needs
good backup. Siegel will be a good
Yes, he will
backup.
be a good backup, but like, dude, you playing fucking Darrell Luter out there. Uh, was okay. Can you answer me this? I don't want to sound stupid, but like, was Chase Lucas injured? Why the fuck was Darrell Luter in?
I wish I could tell you. I genuinely don't know what Daryl
Chase
Luter's
Lucas was
have.
injured for a while, but I believe he was able to play in that
I don't.
divisional round game. I don't know for sure, but if he was, and they put Darrell Luter out there, I mean, that's just
It's their fault. Daryl Luter
yeah.
is ass. That guy is
Chase
terrible.
Lucas
I
can
don't
at
know
least
why.
play football. Like
Yeah.
I actually like Chase Lucas. I think he's a
And
good depth piece.
preseason, he was killing it.
Yeah, I think he's a good depth piece, and I think they should. What did you see? Kendrick Bourne said he wouldn't let Chase Lucas date his sister of any guy on the team.
No, I didn't.
So I also work at Fox Sports Radio. So my guys, Rich Davis and Steve Cavino, they do this show called Cavino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. They're on Radio Row right now in San Francisco, and I stayed in LA. I didn't go up to the Super Bowl unless a brand was going to give me money to go up to the Super Bowl. I wasn't going to drive up and be there. And I don't work on that show specifically, so I couldn't go with them. But they interviewed Kendrick Bourne, and Rich Davis was like, "Hey, what Niner would you least want to date your sister?" And he had to think about it. And he's like, "Chase Lucas." Go look it up. It's like that.
I
It'll
think
be
Chase
somewhere.
Lucas is valid. I don't know.
He might be a womanizer, bro. Maybe he has multiple girls in different cities. You never know, especially with the DBs that don't make much money.
Bro's just a hoe.
He's probably
He's a
saving his
hoe.
money. He probably has different women and he's living life. Good for him. I thought that was pretty funny though. We got another question here. Did y'all hear John Lynch may begin move to president since we have a new CEO? Yeah, I heard about that. I hope that's true. I think he should. I think it's time. I think John Lynch is an excellent guy to negotiate with players and agents. I think he's
Yeah.
great. He's a great representative of the organization. I just don't think he should be making football decisions anymore like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't think he should be making draft picks. I think it's gotten to the point where we know that John Lynch is not a good
Yeah.
drafter. He might have had some hits. I don't know who's
Which is
responsible
just
for draft.
frustrating because I feel like
Yeah.
he should be a good drafter. Like he's got good guys in the building. Like it's not like he's the only one that makes the decision. Like it's still he's got Kyle like in his ear. He's gonna have Raheem Morris in his ear. Maybe just if these last couple drafts were just John Lynch, then maybe just tell John, hey John, maybe this draft let us do a little bit more. Like let us
Yeah.
help you out here. Let's try to build this team. I don't know. I feel like John Lynch. I feel like he gets one more year, and then if he kind of shits the bed on the, I did think last year's draft was actually pretty good. Like for what it
It'll be
like,
good. It'll look better in like 2 years, I feel like.
yeah.
You
So
know what I mean? I think Pooney was
so
obviously the best pick from 2 years ago.
yeah.
And I still believe in Dominic Pooney. I think he's an all-pro guard. I
I think
think
he
he
had a
was
PCL
struggling.
injury throughout
Yeah,
the
he was
year. Like,
struggling. And I think Ricky Pearsall, call me crazy. I think Ricky Pearsall can be an all-pro receiver. I do
dude,
still.
I think you could too.
He was playing through a PCL injury. He was incredible the first
If
few
he
years.
can stay on the field, Ricky Pearsall is an
Yeah.
all-pro. I don't think that's a
I
crazy take
agree.
at
I
all.
think he can be a one. I know everyone's like, well, it's safer if he's the wide receiver too. Sure. But I think you can win a Super Bowl with a healthy Ricky Pearsall as your wide receiver one. I truly do.
Yep.
I think if you allocate the resources to edge rusher, you allocate the resources to corner and safety and O line, you can win. Look at the fucking Patriots, bro. They got Stephon Diggs, who has God knows how many off the field stuff going on right now, like controversies. He's their wide receiver one. He was pretty cheap. They got him. And then they got
Yeah.
Kayshon Boutte, bro, who's on a rookie fucking contract. Like they don't have weapons. They're in the Super Bowl. What's the fucking difference? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like the Seahawks, they have one receiver that's good. Like Cooper Cup's fine at this point in his career. Jake Bobo, rookie contract. Rashid Shaheed, more of a punt returner. Yeah, well, they have two good receivers, but one elite one. Shaheed's good. He's really good, but he's versatile because he can return kicks and punts and everything. You know what I mean? But really, they don't have that much offensively.
No.
So like they built the trenches. That's why I'm always like, with this pick here in round one, they got to focus on getting an offensive lineman. I want
Yeah.
them to bolster the offensive line. This is why I was pissed they didn't go after Dahlman in free agency. They're going to do the same shit with Linderbaum. I'm telling you right now, if I was GM of the 49ers, I would sign Tyler Linderbaum. There's no question about it. I would. If
Okay.
that's most of my money, so be it. If I can't get Alec Pierce because of that and I have to sign Romeo Dobbs instead, so be it. I think Linderbaum can really, he will make Cooney and whoever's playing the other guard
Way better.
look so much better.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize Brendel has been getting beat for years. And, he played decent this year. I'll give him flowers. Like, he was not as bad as he was in 2024. He did play better. He knows Kyle's system, which is all positive. However, if you can get a 25-year-old top three center in football to build around for the next 10 years, like he could be your center until Brock Purdy retires, bro, if it all goes
Yeah.
well. You know what I mean? Like, allocate that money. What the fuck are we doing? And obviously, they won't be able to cut Brandon Ayuk until post June 1st, right? Otherwise, they have a massive cap hit. So they're not getting rid of Brandon Ayuk until after June 1st, by the way. They'll have what, 44 million in cap space. He'll make around 20 million a year, I would think, or 15 million a year, 20 million a year. You still have 20 mil left over per season to give to other positions, whether that be corner, whether that be safety, whether that be Alec Pierce, Romeo Dobbs. I think they should do that personally. That if I was the GM, I would do that. I'd be like, Tyler, let's get you in the building. Maybe they have more cap space than the Ravens, so they can definitely outbid the Ravens. I don't know if they could outbid a team like New England or the Chargers or
Yeah.
what's his cap space. Chargers have cap space. Giants don't have cap space. Who's the other team? Titans could definitely get them. They have a ton of cap space. They can't
Yeah.
outbid certain teams, but I feel like there'd be mutual interest there. I just don't think they're going to do that. I know the way they've operated. They just they tickle they tickle the fans' balls all the time by like, oh, we're gonna, and I say that by like, oh, we're gonna trade for Jordan Addison. Reports, we're gonna trade for Max Crosby. Reports, we're gonna trade for Justin Jefferson. Then they do none of that shit and they
You're
save
right.
money
They do
and
just
Jed
tickle our
York
balls.
pockets all the money.
Yeah.
And honestly, I know people have been mad at Jed York. I kind of see why he didn't want them to spend all this money this season. Why he stopped believing in Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. He did, because he spent a lot of money in 23, 24, 22, and they didn't win a Super Bowl. I know they got close. They should have won. So I get why he didn't want to spend money this season. However, I think they have enough of a window here, especially with Kubiak leaving to go to the Raiders. Like, Seattle's not going to be as good offensively next year. That's just
No,
a fact. They'll be really good. They're not going to be as good as offensively, and they're not getting to another Super Bowl. This is kind of
I
like
can't
their
wait
one.
to smoke on their pack.
Well, we'll wait. Hopefully they don't win. They don't win this weekend, but
They're
the
not
Rams
winning
are really,
yet.
really the team
They're
you got
not
to worry
winning.
about in that division. But once Stafford retires, they're not going to be that good. He's saved.
Yeah.
He's kind of saving that whole roster right now. So I
Yeah.
think you have a clear opportunity, and that's why I'm saying like they can actually go and spend money, and it's not going to hurt them long term
Yeah.
because you're going to get off the Ayuk books. You're going to get off fully of the Debo Samuel cap hits and the Ayuk cap hits, like I said.
Yeah.
I really think that, you got to focus on drafting O-line. I really do. But let's get back here. So let's say they end up, okay, they have this board and they take McNeil Warren there. Let's say, because that's what we're projecting right now. Let's speed this up a little bit. Now let's see what we have in round two at pick 58.
I
So
have to go, but I think
yeah, no worries. I'll keep
for
rolling. I
this
appreciate.
pick for this pick, I think
Yeah.
he's there. I think you know who I'm gonna go for. Omar Cooper.
Yeah. I don't think he's gonna be there in real life, though, to be honest. I think he's
You
gonna
don't
go
think
round
so?
1. I think
You
he's
think he's
gonna
in
go
round 1?
I think he's gonna go to the Bills in round 1. I do.
Oh, yeah, he is a Bill.
But if he's there, I agree with you. I mean, this would be the pick. This is such a
It
perfect
would
Kyle
have to be.
Shanahan type player. I mean, he plays so much like Debo in the sense of like
Who's
yards
the
after catch.
I'm blanking on his name, the white guy from Indiana.
Oh, Becker. Is he even on here?
Where
The wide
I don't know,
receiver?
where's he gonna go? Because that guy's a dog, dude. That like,
Dude, he's not even on this list. They don't even have him on here.
is he that bad? I thought the guy was good.
No, I like him. He's such a 49er, bro. I'm with you. He's gonna be
Yeah,
one of those guys that
sleeper.
um yeah, but anyways, Maj, thank you for
Okay,
hopping on. I'll go for a few more
appreciate you,
minutes
man.
here and go through these picks.
Okay,
But
see you, man.
appreciate
Thank
your
you.
analysis. We'll stream soon, especially with Grant. I think we're streaming. I know he has a Super Bowl, but I think we're streaming tomorrow or the next day. We'll
Next day.
figure it
Okay,
out. But make sure you
perfect,
sub
man.
to his
Okay,
YouTube and follow him on TikTok. Man,
thanks, Brandon. See you.
of course, yeah, dude. So like Maj said, I do like Omar Cooper if he's somehow here in round 2, but I'm going to pretend. I just know he's not going to be there, so I'm going to pretend like he's not there. Zachariah Branch is another guy who can beat man coverage and is a guy that's really good with the ball in his hands. Malachi Fields is another guy. I think this is the round they take receiver. I really do. Even if, I could see edge rusher here, I guess, but I think they can get an edge rusher later. I think it's pretty obvious they're going to go receiver here if they go safety in round 1. I like Surratt, another guy who can beat man coverage. He kind of fits what the 49ers are looking for. I would hate if Chris Brazell's the pick here. I really would, because I don't think he can do as much as people think he can do. He's just fast and big, but he has stone hands. I mean, he's not going to be there. Omar Cooper or Dunker would be the pick, but they're not going to be there in round 2. PFF hasn't updated this shit yet. So I'm going to pretend like they're not there. I'm going to say Zachariah Branch here. I'm going to say Zachariah Branch there in round 2. So then you would get a guy that can be utilized, can return punts. He's fast as shit. He can beat man coverage. And then in round 3, I think you could get Jacob Rodriguez. I don't think it's as big of, I would take Brian Parker here. And I'm going to just stop kind of there, because Brian Parker, I think, would be able to play guard to start and eventually maybe tackle. So you kind of start there. This is kind of an ideal start to the draft. You get Raheem's guys a safety. You get a wide receiver with speed. You get a guard who can play tackle. And then here you would have to get an edge rusher, right? Like you'd be looking at, okay, who's the best edge rusher we can find here? There's not many left. This is when you'd be calling teams. You'd be like, okay, who can we get? Can we trade for someone? Lawrence would be the guy I would see here. I would love Malachi Lawrence there. I think he's going to be available at that time. So that's how I would kind of envision that. I do think they end up going safety in round 1, though. I do. At this point, like with the Raheem Morris hire, what he needs in that secondary, I mean, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren is a perfect fit. Let me answer this question. Do you think the Niners get a powerful back to take some load off of McCaffrey? Yeah, I do think Breece Hall is an option. I don't think they will, but I think they should. ETN, Breece Hall, Ken Walker, any of those guys, I think you can pay them $5-10 million a year and they can take a big load pause off of McCaffrey. But anyways, that is going to be it. I just wanted to kind of preview what Raheem Morris would be looking at, kind of draft preview. Going to be mostly what we're talking about, free agency draft, especially on a week none of us are happy about, which is a Seattle Seahawks, New England Patriots Super Bowl. But if you're watching this on TikTok, make sure you sub to my YouTube. A lot of great videos like this. This full thing is going to be on YouTube right after. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to follow me on TikTok and X. I appreciate all you guys. I love all you guys.